Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're really excited to bring you this video. As you all know, the PlayStation 5 reveal event, was yesterday, as the time of this filming, and we just wanted to get our opinions on just the conference as in total and certain things that came up in the conference that we're excited for. It's just basically our opinion on what Sony revealed yesterday. Carlos, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so pretty much just gonna do a little breakdown of the conference, what we liked, what we didn't like, just a few things that jumped out at us. So, just off the top, what were your like overall opinions about what you saw?
It, there was a lot of indie stuff. A lot of indie stuff, but it wasn't terrible. A lot of things that looked very interesting. There are definitely some things that I was just like, not interested in it.
Yeah,
But overall, I think it was a great conference. I didn't think we were actually going to get the design of the PS5 revealed, but we did, and it makes me very excited. Obviously, no additional information on it yet, but that should be coming soon since it is slated to come out holiday 2020, which is well, around the corner.
yeah, a few months
Uh,
away.
yeah, but overall,
Shit,
very satisfied.
it's crazy. 5 months away.
There were, yeah, there were things. Yeah, 5 months away. We're in holiday season, which is crazy. Yeah, there were things that I was a little upset that were kind of not mentioned. I'm sure there's good reasons. It's either not ready, which is just there are things that I really want,
Yeah,
and I wanted it to be in the conference. Like I prayed for it to be in the conference, but it wasn't. And I mean, at the end of the day, um, there are always good reasons for that. But the conference itself, I thought it was fantastic.
same here. It hit that little bit of that long lull after that Miles Morales reveal, where it was just games that I
Yeah,
didn't really care about. I was just like, okay,
or
cool.
or just games that we just new IPs.
Yeah,
There were some games that was like, okay, it's a returning game. Some were just new IPs, and it's hard to get excited for a new IP
yes,
when one, you don't know a lot about it, and two, they kind of started off with a returning IP that made, well, I'm sure everyone excited. So
exactly. And a lot of it, and especially like when your teasers don't hit, like it was
reveal,
just
yeah,
dragging, and I was like, what am I watching? But we'll get into that a
yeah.
little later. So let's just jump into the big stuff, man. I know you're a huge GTA head now. You play that shit nonstop. How do you feel about it coming to a third generation of console?
I think it's hilarious that this game originally came out on the PS3 and it's actually being remastered or for
Enhanced with ray tracing.
oh sorry, with ray tracing more than likely.
Gotta get that ray tracing.
Um, I mean it's cool. I just got into the game, so it's exciting for me. That little stimulus check that they're gonna give us monthly, so all PlayStation Plus members are getting 1 million dollars GTA money every month until it actually comes out on the PS5, and then there's going to be, as if I'm correct, a GTA 5 again enhanced and a standalone GTA Online, which will be available for free for the first 3 months of its release on the PS5, which is exciting because I only play online. I haven't actually played the story for GTA 5, so the fact that they're making it a standalone and they're giving it for free for the PS5 is very exciting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see it. But I was like, really on the PS5 again. Um, like it's like we talked about this before on the channel. I played it like every day on PS3 to the point where I got sick of it. The story mode is interesting. There's some cool moments if you get the PS5 and you do want to hop on and check out the story mode. It does have some good moments. And
I might do that, especially if they're supposed to enhance it and they're actually supposed to add new stuff to the story. I might actually play it for my first time
yeah,
through on the PS5.
it's It has, like I said, it has some fun moments, typical Rockstar stuff like that they do. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool to see. And then obviously one of the biggest reviews. You have something to say about Grand Theft Auto? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was a little, I guess, underwhelmed by the announcement, just because I honestly thought there was going to be some mention of Bully 2, since I'm pretty sure they stated that that's the next game they were working on, back when Red Dead 2 came out.
I
So
fucking love the Bully one. I still have that on
exactly, and
PS2 right here. Like I love that game.
yeah, I was hoping for some Bully to some type of reveal or anything like that. But
But we
I
got
guess they're
nothing.
going for the moneymaker first. They've made so much money off of GTA Online. It's
I mean,
crazy.
it's
They
crazy.
have no reason to stop now.
That's one of I don't know. I read this was like maybe a couple years ago. I'm pretty sure it's either gotten only better by then, but at the time it was the number one selling IP on the planet. Like that shit
I'm not
was
surprised.
crazy. Um,
And I was not one of them, and now I am.
yeah. Now you see why.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, me and Omar used to be GameStop employees, and the amount of shark cards we would have to rig up daily. Uh, and now you would probably be one of those people. All right, moving on to probably the biggest reveal of the night, which was Miles Morales.
Yeah. Super excited. Um, he has gained a lot of popularity in recent
As he should.
years, as he should, and it has a lot to do with Into the Spider Verse,
God,
which
great movie. If they don't have that, if they
could
don't have "What's Up Danger" in that game, I consider it a failure. Like it needs to have that song in that game.
just some type of just a little like Easter egg. What's up, Danger? Yeah, I recently rewatched the movie again. I've watched it so many times at this point. It is probably the best Spider-Man movie out ever.
Yeah, I can't
Um,
argue that. I love, and I could watch that again and again. Like I love that movie.
yeah, it's great.
It's amazing.
I mean the animation style, everything, but we're talking about the game. And Insomniac Games, they did a fantastic job on Marvel Spider-Man. And I was a little scared when I saw Miles Morales, because I was a little afraid that it might just be like an expansion. And then after the conference, there were rumors. Yes, it's only an expansion. It's expanding upon the original
Mm-hmm.
game. But today, June 12th, as of like 1 p.m., Insomniac Games actually confirmed that it is a standalone game,
That's
which is
dope.
very exciting.
That's really dope.
Now, it is going to be smaller in scope than the original Insomniac's Marvel Spider-Man, but it's kind of like if you compare like Uncharted 4 to Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
It's a smaller game, but the
I
quality is
mean,
going to
but
be
they
there.
got that that magical word, DLC, and they could just keep
Oh yeah,
making that shit
they
bigger.
could just yeah.
Yeah.
And based on the reception, I'm positive that they're gonna make some big DLCs
Yeah.
for the game. Probably not anytime like close to the release date of the actual game, which is holiday 2020, which means it's more than likely going to be a release date title, which is super exciting.
I mean, I haven't
Um,
played. I'm playing through it now. I downloaded it literally after that conference ended. I bought and I downloaded it because I wanted to try it out, and I'm loving it so far. So, this only makes me even more excited to have
yeah,
Miles in there.
yeah, it's very exciting. But moving on from Spider-Man, we all know how excited everybody is for that. Moving on from that, Gran Turismo 7. Now, I've never been much of a Gran Turismo fan.
Either. I mean, I played
I
them
don't
when I
know
was a
about
kid,
you.
but never
Yeah.
really like. Yeah,
I mean, it looks fantastic.
it does.
It could be the most realistic looking PS5 game that was shown. But that's not difficult when we're
I
talking
mean,
about
I
cars
wouldn't.
and racing.
I mean, I
So
wouldn't say that because you have bug snacks that look really realistic. Just the photorealism that they used wasn't applicable. Anyways, what happened?
But I don't have much to say about Gran Turismo. It looks great. Gran Turismo fans are sure to be happy to kind of
Yeah, the two
get
Gran
a
Turismo
new.
fans that are out there, they should be excited to have that. And then
uh,
Ratchet and Clank, I never was a fan of the series. I never played it, so seeing that was like, cool.
it is exciting though. I know a lot of people who really, really enjoyed the reboot of Ratchet and Clank that Insomniac Games made. So there's actually two games from Insomniac Games on this list that were in the reveal event, which is really impressive. But they did a fantastic job with Ratchet and Clank, and um, I mean, it looks fantastic. It's going to definitely take advantage of the PS5's architecture, and it was the first mention of something that is mentioned a lot when it comes to the PS5,
Ray tracing.
which is ray tracing. Yeah, and Clank looked fantastic. I rewatched the trailer afterwards,
The light
and
reflections of Clank.
that like yeah, he looked fantastic.
And it was
Very
all thanks
excited to
ray
ray
tracing.
tracing. But I mean that there's not much to say. Ratchet and Clank is an established IP. People who love the franchise are going to be excited for this one. People who don't, they're probably not going to get it. Hopefully, there are also some people who is going to be their introduction to Ratchet and Clank, and it kind of feels like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. And then next after that was Project Athia, or Athia, however you say.
Square Enix. When the trailer first dropped, when it was when I was watching it, I thought it was going to be a Tomb Raider game, just because it kept mentioning she, and being Square Enix, I was like it's probably gonna be a Tomb Raider, but I'm really happy it's not. Not that Tomb Raider isn't great or anything, but new IPs are always something to get excited for, and it looks fantastic.
It does. It looked really good. You know what that was thanks to?
That ray tracing.
Ray tracing.
Now, they didn't give any details. As far as I know, they didn't even give a release date, but it is something to look forward to, and once we get more information on it, it's definitely something that we should report on. Because it looks like it could be a really big new IP that could stay for the long run,
And then we got the stupidest thing I ever saw in a long time, Stray. I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was a commercial, like they just advertising like some type of cat product. And
I thought originally I thought it was like some. I don't know if you've seen the movie Chappie.
yes, I'm Chappie.
I thought it was some like Chappie-esque type games because you just saw like all the humanoid robots and whatnot, and then it kind of drifted from that and kind of focused on the cat. Now I am a cat person, but I mean, there was no information on it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
They're probably going to have ray tracing on it.
I mean, gotta ray trace everything.
Got to ray trace everything, but I mean, there's not much to say on it.
Yeah.
It looked good.
And
Very. Not there was just not a lot of information on it.
And then Returnal after that, which just I enjoyed the trailer. I thought it looked really interesting. I like the little idea they have with that kind of Groundhog Day type, or die born again, which there's another game on this list that does that same exact thing. But
Yeah,
and I don't know,
two
the
very
whole thing of it,
different
I
kind
thought
of.
it was really interesting, and definitely something I would look forward to.
Oh yeah, it looked super crisp. It looked like something new. Um, yeah, it looks very interesting. Now, again, not a lot of information was given,
For a lot of these games.
but yeah, it definitely looks like something to look forward to. It kind of looks like a very like survival horror type game, which
I'm not
I
with
know
the
would
horror
have a lot of
part,
people.
but like the survival.
I'm
part
not
was
either.
cool.
Yeah, I'm not into horror anything.
Neither am I. I'm
But
a giant vagina.
it looks interesting enough that I might give it a go. It kind of depends on
Yeah.
what information is given from here on out.
And
So
then probably the most action-packed and just exciting game in the whole entire conference,
hands down,
Sackboy Adventures.
hands down, this is the
Serious, man?
best game on the list.
Uh,
I'm surprised that they announced it so early in the
so
PlayStation
did
5's
I.
lifespan.
I thought they would wait
Uh,
later on, but
yeah,
this game, oh my god. Little Big Planet, first of all, I've played every single Little Big Planet. I love Little Big Planet.
they're fantastic,
I
fantastic.
have my little Solid Snake Sackboy. He's the greatest. And
Now you got to go for the Kratos.
I paid money for that Solid Snake Sackboy. I'm not proud of it, but it had to be done.
I had to.
And then you said that you didn't really like the art style of it, but I was a huge fan of Sweet Tooth and Twisted Metal. Destruction All
Twisted
Stars
Metal was
looks
fantastic.
There's very remnants of that, and I'm excited to.
I feel like it's just. I feel like they were just like, we need to put out another battle royale game, but we don't want to do the same things. What do we do? Well, what do people like? Cars. Oh, let's do a battle royale with cars. That's kind of what it felt like. It's just it
And
didn't call my attention.
That's awesome.
I don't have anything to say about it, honestly.
It looks fucking great. And then after that, we had Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, Kena, yeah, Bridge of Spirit.
Keanu Bridge
I
of
thought it
Spirits.
looked Keanu, great movie. If you haven't watched Keanu, please watch it. I don't know. I didn't like. I'm very excited for it. Like I don't know anything about it, but it looks very like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild esque, which isn't surprising. Developers Ember Labs, they. I believe it was in 2016 they released a short like fan video of a fan film of Majora's Mask, which looks fantastic. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. But yeah, this is kind of their first foray into video games, and I think it looks really, really good. I'm excited for it. I know you don't really care too much for it.
I thought it looked like a
But
discount Horizon Zero Dawn at first.
again, it's
But
more Legend of
then
Zelda,
I was
Breath of the
like,
Wild esque, but
I mean, you never played Horizon, so you can't really make that comparison, sir.
yeah, I still have it
My
sealed. I
man
have the
has a
collector's
sealed
edition.
copy that never played.
I have the collector's edition, and I downloaded the DLC to my PlayStation already. I just have never opened the game and played it. There were a lot of games that came out during that time, and it was just a game that I kind of forgot to. Yeah, I know.
Uh,
But I am excited to kind of delve into that, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
that
Next game.
I don't even want to talk about this. Goodbye Volcano High. I don't really
I
care
don't.
about it. I thought it was like a
Yeah,
BoJack Horseman game at first, but it turns out it's something stupid. But
I kind of lost interest
yeah,
in this part of the. I know the next
ah,
game kind of got your interest back, but
definitely.
uh,
I'm a huge Apes Oddworld fan since PlayStation 1 days. I literally have both of them from a PS1, Exodus and Odyssey. They're amazing. I was so excited to see this come back. It's a game that doesn't take itself too serious. It's very like funny. It kind of breaks that fourth wall a lot. In the first one, I remember you can literally beat the game in the first one, and if you didn't save enough people, they're like, and you die, and they send you back to do it all over again.
which is
It's
something that games back then did a lot. They kind of tried to break that fourth wall type thing, which
oh
was
my
really
god, I keep
cool.
doing that by accident. But
But
yeah, I love this game. So seeing that come back,
yeah, it's exciting.
I remember they had the remaster on PS3, and I was so excited for that.
I'm like positive if it isn't already on PlayStation now, that they'll put the original two on PlayStation now,
Definitely.
especially for the
I
PS5.
know they
So
had little spin-offs, but I never played the spin-offs, the Oddworld spin-offs. But next on the list was very interesting and creepy.
creepy
Ghostwire.
is so. It looks super interesting. Animation wise, it looks a little dated. I know they started development on this game a while ago,
Yeah.
and it's now being kind of brought over to the PS5. So they still have time to kind of fix some of the graphics. But again, I'm not a big horror guy.
Yeah.
It looks very, very interesting though.
All right.
Would I play it? Probably not. But that's just because yeah.
So after that, we got. Uh,
Jet the Far
yeah. All
Shore.
right. My brain drew a whole blank just now.
uh, it looked very interesting. I don't know what type of game it's going to be. They didn't really show us much of the gameplay, but it's definitely something.
It looks like what No Man's Sky should have been, and it also
Yeah.
gave me like that interstellar vibe, which I thought was really really cool. Which
Yeah,
I love that
it's
movie.
something to keep an eye out for. So, the following one, Godfall, it was teased a while back.
Yeah, I was just like,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it as of now. Kind of have to wait to see more on it.
Same thing with the next one,
Um,
Solar Ash. It had a weird looking art style, so that immediately kind of took me out of it. But
yeah,
yeah, not much. And then the next one, I'm a huge fan of stealth games, but I've never played the Hitman series. Hitman 3.
same. And it's actually a shame. There have been multiple occasions where I wanted to buy it and play it. Like Hitman 2 would be on sale, and I was like, oh, I could buy the second season, but wait, I haven't even played the first
Yeah.
one. So I kind of never got into it, but I'll definitely have time in the coming months to be able to do so,
Yeah.
and I might actually play through 1 and 2,
Definitely.
just kind of getting ready for 3, because it does look interesting, and I've always been a fan of the stealth type games, so
And then
definitely an interesting inclusion.
after that, they got into some kitty-esque looking stuff with games
One very
like
exciting one that was kind of like a
with Astro Playroom and like Bug Snacks.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't care for. I didn't really pay too much attention during that,
Yeah, I was just
but
like, cool.
Little Devil Inside
That looked
looks
interesting.
very interesting.
That did.
It looks like it has a great story. It kind of looks like a mixture of like Monster Hunter, Bloodborne, almost like Pokemon. You got to collect all these monsters for your professor. It looks really cool. The animation looks very nice.
I thought the teaser was just funny when he took a poop. I was like, haha. That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely one that is. I'm waiting. I would love to get more detail on it, and it looks very.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
And then the game that made the hood go crazy, NBA 2K21. I heard all the
When Zion-
years the moment that game came out. I was like, oh shit.
When Zion came out and he kind of introduced 2K21, it was cool.
Yeah.
I like Zion.
And then I mean,
He's a monster.
He is a monster.
Like if we're being that serious, but yeah, that sweat, man.
that's what look ray tracing on the sweat to
That was
get
it.
enhanced sweat-like features. And the
That's what
pores
we were
in his
missing.
skin, you saw that. I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. The game's not gonna
That's
look
what we were
anything
missing.
like that. And what they should be working on is actual like animations and proper gameplay for 2K. But
I was just gonna say, like, if instead of focusing on the gameplay, they were like, let's not even show the
Let's show
gameplay.
them
Let's
real
just show.
sweat.
Let's
like
show
that.
them the sweat.
yeah, put Zion in an empty gym and just have him sweating. You like that?
And then at the end, when like the hoop falls after he dunked it, it was. I mean, it was a cool cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then
that's it.
something that I believe you're excited for, right? Demon Souls, the remake.
Oh, I'm super excited for this. Yes, Demon Souls, kind of like the original Dark Soul-esque game. I say Demon Soul-esque, but whatever. Yeah, it's very exciting. First came out on the PS3. I never beat it. I mean, back then, it was just
Most people probably
impossible for. Yeah, it was impossible for me to beat it. It was so difficult, and that kind of put a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Then Dark Souls came on, and people were like, "Wait, these games are actually really good." So the fact that they're remaking Demon Souls after shutting down the service, they shut it down a couple of months ago, or maybe even more than a year ago. I don't remember, but it's super exciting to see that they remade it. It looks fantastic. A little disappointed.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with the game. It's just that I thought it was going to be a different game. I thought it was going to be God of War. It kind of looked like it was going to be God of War. So it kind of like it was a little disappointing because I was like, I really wanted God of War, but Demon Souls, super excited for that.
And then after that, we got another game that follows that kind of Groundhog's Day formula, Deathloop.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It's with assassins instead of being in a different planet. So, and it's brought to you by Dishonored Studios. So, you know, not much more to say there.
Hmm.
It's probably going to be a really good game.
Then after that, Resident Evil, The Village. Not a huge horror game
Uh,
fan, so I don't think I've
I
ever played a
have never
single one.
played. I have never played a Resident Evil game. Actually, that's a lie. I played Resident Evil 6,
No.
which is universally known as the least horror of them all.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm personally not too excited for it. I know there are some diehard fans that are not too excited for it because they would have rathered an 8 instead of a pseudo 8.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought the trailer was great. I didn't know it was Resident Evil until it
Neither did
literally
I.
like highlighted the 8, and I was like, oh, Resident Evil.
And then after that was probably one of the more interesting and just out there trailers, Pragmata.
Yeah, very interested. Again, they didn't give us much, but super interesting. It featured cats again. That's
Oh
two
god, robot cats
trailers
this
that
time.
featured cats. No, no, no. It was a hologram, a hologram cat. But yeah, it looks very interesting. It's from Capcom. There are rumors that a specific person worked on this game, but yeah, it looked pretty cool.
And then, I mean, by the time we got to this, we were kind of beaten to death, but I was still kind of excited to see Horizon Zero Dawn, the
Well,
Forbidden West.
Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah. Again, I haven't played the Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just literally staring at me right now. The statue of Aloy is. Yeah, I need to get into the game. I can probably give a better review.
It is a great game. I loved it. The only problem I
I know
have
you
with it
said you
that
want to replay it,
they released the DLC a little too late in its lifetime, and by the time they released it, I just wasn't interested in going back to it. But the main
but now you
story
have an excuse
is
to get
great,
back into it.
and it's I loved it.
Yeah. And that's it for kind of like the video game
And
reviews.
now
And then it
we'll go
went.
into
It got interesting. It started giving us some features without really telling us what they were for, although we all know what they were for.
yeah.
So just to quickly list off some of the features that the PS5 has and will include, Ultra 4K Blu-ray. Uh, Ultra, you wrote Ultra. 4K Ultra Blu-ray.
No, so, yeah, whatever, same concept.
Whatever, same difference. Yeah, it's a notable exception from the PS4 Pro. So excited that they got it right this time around, I guess. Yeah. Ultra fast SSD. This is very exciting. It's going to cut down on all the load times for the games, and it's just going to make the whole system perform a lot faster. So it's super excited. I think that might be the feature I'm most excited for. I know which feature you're most excited for, which is the
Ray
next one on
tracing.
the list. Yeah, I have my PC over here. Can do ray tracing. So it's not new for anybody in the PC community, but it's definitely something that will change kind of the console, just console gaming in general. It hasn't really been widely used, but it is starting to make its rounds, and it's super exciting. It honestly looks so good. Then obviously when we kind of go into the controller, it has that haptic feedback and it has that adaptive triggers. I'm excited. They're trying to focus on more than just graphics.
Good.
They're trying to focus on sound and
3D audio, all
feeling.
that.
So that's really cool.
And then
I'm excited to see what they do with
the
that.
thing that's probably going to put GameStop out of business, the digital versus regular version of the PS5.
Yeah, there was always rumored to be two different versions, and we got two different versions: the PS5 and the digital edition. I personally will be going for the regular.
Yeah, I don't want
I'm
the
not.
digital
I'm
one.
not much for digital games. I collect games. I collect collector's editions. It makes no sense for me to go for digital games. So I probably will say $100 to $150 difference between the two, just because it's a 4K Blu-ray player. But yeah, let's talk about the design. I thought it looked great.
Yeah, I love the new design of it. Not a fan of white console, so I hope they have it in black or any other color for me.
Well,
But
they did. There was that non-official rendition of
Yeah,
a blackout version, and also a Spider-Man Miles Morales version, which would be so cool.
they did that. Yeah,
But I like the fact that they're making their first kind of main color for the system white instead of the traditional black. I think it looks super sleek, and it'll look great kind of with my setup, because my setup is mostly white. So
okay.
the memes have been
The
incredible.
memes are
You could
hilarious.
probably you could probably post some here and there on the channel just to kind of show them what these memes look like. But they're so they're, the internet always wins. Uh,
That's it. Does you can't give them nothing, man. They're gonna destroy it. But then obviously what people were waiting for, which I was waiting for at the end of the conference, was a release date, a price point, and they didn't give us anything. They just said, "All
yeah,
right,
they did
goodbye."
announce that they announced that's coming at a later date. No specifics there. I'm assuming because of just the state of the world at the moment, they're just they don't want to give a definitive date
Yeah,
and then have something happen with manufacturing
makes sense.
or just anything that could go wrong, because 2020 everything is going
Pretty
wrong.
much.
So
This will be the one good
uh,
thing of 2020.
I, yeah, I think it's smart that they didn't. It's a little upsetting, but they are waiting for prices to go down on all of the hardware to make these systems so that they can give a competitive price when it comes to the PS5 itself, and give a realistic date of when it's supposed to come out. So it's a smart move on them. Obviously, we're disappointed. Once you get a release date and once you get a price point, pre-orders are soon to follow, probably same day or next day. So super excited for that announcement. It has to be a day one purchase.
Definitely, definitely.
So
All right, man. That covers the whole entire conference.
yeah, super excited to see what the future brings us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure more games are going to be teased in the coming months. Um, I'm mostly excited to see what games are going to be release date games. Uh, so we'll kind of have to see. I'm assuming just two games that I can assume right off the bat: Spider-Man Miles Morales and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm pretty sure
Valhalla.
that's going to be a release date.
Yep. And yeah. So yeah, super excited, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
And thank you for watching this video. Please, we have a comment session. Just tell us what your opinions have been on the conference. Anything that caught your attention. Anything that uh, we got wrong, and you kind of want to debate us on that. We're more than happy to kind of have debates in the comment section down below. And please hit that like button, subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. We're trying to grow this into a bigger channel. Obviously, we just started, but we are working really hard to get this channel kind of started and up and flying.
Yep.
So, thank you, and see you next time.